Welcome to the National Telecommunications Commission. Restricted Land Mobile, RLM, Radio Telephone Operators Seminar. What is RLM Seminar? RLM Seminar is a basic radio course being offered by the Commission to radio holders. What is an RLM certificate? The Restricted Radio Telephone Operators Certificate for Land Mobile. RLM certificate is a written instrument issued by the Commission to a qualified person authorizing him, her to carry out the radio telephone service of a duly licensed land mobile or portable station. Scope of presentation. 1. The National Telecommunications Commission. 2. Radio laws and regulations. 3. Traffic handling and operation. Part 1. The National Telecommunications Commission. NTC is the sole body that exercises jurisdiction over the supervision, adjudication and control of all telecommunications services in the Philippines. NTC was created by virtue of Executive Order No. 546 upon integration of the Board of Communications and the Telecommunications Control Bureau. Function: conduct radio operator examination and issue radio operators certificates, ROC. Issued to individual radio operator certificates, ROC. Radio telephony, telegraphy class, 1, 2, 3. Restricted Land Mobile, RLM. Government Radio Operator Certificate, GROC. Special Radio Operator Certificate, SROP. Restricted ROC Aircraft. Amateur. Prepare, plan and conduct studies for policy and regulatory services. Enforce applicable domestic and international laws, rules and regulations, prosecute violations thereof, and imposes appropriate penalties, sanctions. Issue permits, licenses to operate land, maritime, and aeronautical and safety devices. Perform such other telecommunication, broadcast-related activities as may be necessary in the interest of public service. Allocate, sub-allocate and assign the use of radio frequencies. Frequency. Description: 30 GHz to 300 GHz extremely high frequency. 3 GHz to 30 GHz. Super high frequency. 300 MHz to 3 GHz. Ultra high frequency. 30 MHz to 300 MHz. Very high frequency. 3 MHz to 30 MHz. High frequency. 300 kHz to 3 MHz. Medium frequency. 30 kHz to 300 kHz. Low frequency. 3 kHz to 30 kHz. Very low frequency. 300 Hz to 3 kHz. Voice frequency. Up to 300 Hz. Extremely low frequency. Monitor the operation of all telecommunication and broadcast activities like Smart, GMA, TV5, Globe, PLDT. Type approve/type accept all radio communications equipment like cell phone, tablet, laptops, portable radio, RFID, Bluetooth and wireless devices. Part 2. Radio laws and regulations. Republic Act 3846, as amended Department Order No. 11 Memorandum Circular 7885/A. Act 3846, as amended also known as Radio Control Law, an act providing for the regulation of radio stations and radio communications in the Philippines and for other purposes. Section 1. No person, firm, company, association or corporation shall construct, install, establish or operate a radio transmitting station, or a radio receiving station used for commercial purposes without first obtaining a franchise from the Congress of the Philippines. Section 12. Any person who shall violate any provision of this act, or any provision of the international radio regulations, shall be punished by a fine of not more than 2,000 pesos or by imprisonment of not more than 2 years, for each and every offense or both, in the discretion of the court. Section 13. Any firm, company, corporation, or association failing or refusing to observe or violating any provision of this act, or any provision of the regulations prescribed by the NTC under this Act, or any provision of the International Telecommunication Union, ITU, shall be punished by a fine of not more than 5,000 pesos for each and every offense. Department Order No. 11. General Rules and Regulations governing the construction, installation, establishment or operation of radio stations and the possession or ownership, construction or manufacture, purchase, sale and transfer of transmitters or transceivers in the Philippines. Permits issued. Classes of stations. Posting of licenses. Permits issued. Permit to purchase is a written authority or certificate issued by NTC to a person, firm, company or association or corporation, authorizing holder thereof to purchase a radio transmitter or transceiver. Permit to possess is a certificate or written authority issued by NTC authorizing the holder to possess a radio transmitter or a receiver. Radio construction permit. A certificate or written authority issued by NTC for the construction or installation of radio transmitter or transceiver or a radio station as required by the regulations. It is issued for a period of 90 days and may be extended upon request. The construction should be under the supervision of a licensed electronics communication engineer. Required only for fixed, land-based and repeater class of stations. Radio station license. A certificate or written authority issued by NTC to person, firm, company, association or corporation, authorizing the holder thereof to operate a radio station during the period specified in the said instrument or authorization. Radio Operator's Certificate. A written instrument issued by the Commission to a qualified person authorizing him or her to carry out the radio telephone service of a duly licensed radio station. Permits required. Actual operation, tests and adjustments of apparatus should be carried on by licensed radio operators. Section 15, Department Order No. 11. The actual operation of any transmitting or receiving apparatus in any radio station shall be carried on only by persons holding operator licenses required by the regulations. Posting of licenses. Management of radio stations should see to it that station and operators' licenses are conspicuously posted in the premises. The station license shall be posted in the transmitting station and operator licenses should be posted in the place where the operators render the service. In the case of mobile stations, the operator shall carry the licenses or a photocopy thereof in his person at all times while on duty. Memorandum Circular No. 708/85. RLM Certificate. Guidelines and Procedures for Issuance of Restricted Radio Telephone Operator's Certificate for Land Mobile Stations, RLM, without examination, to qualified applicants. Important qualifications of applicants. 1. He or she must be a Filipino citizen. 2. He or she must be at least 18 years of age. 3. He or she must be connected or employed in a firm, company or organization which is authorized to operate radio stations in the land mobile service. 4. He or she must have completed a course on rules, regulations and land mobile radio operating procedures conducted by the Commission. Scope of authority. The holder of an RLM certificate may carry out only the radio telephone service of any duly licensed land mobile or portable station in the Philippines subject to the following conditions. 1. He or she is allowed to operate or adjust only external controls of the transmitter or transceiver, such as the on and off switch, the volume control, the channel selector, or the squelch control. 2. He or she shall operate the radio station strictly in accordance with the conditions specified in the station license. 3. He or she is required to carry out instructions issued by the land-based radio operator for proper radio operation and handling of radio interference. Application for RLM certificate. Applicant for RLM certificate may file his/her accomplished application with the NTC together with the following. 1. Duly accomplished application form. 2. 3 pictures 1 inch by 1 inch. 3. Certificate of completion of seminar. Effectivity period of RLM certificate. An RLM certificate may be issued for a maximum period not exceeding 5 years, minimum of 1 year. Fees: 10 pesos, filing fee. 20 pesos, application fee. 30 pesos, documentary stamp tax fee. 60 pesos, certificate fee, per year. Renewal of certificate. Renewal of certificate shall be filed at least 30 days before expiration. Surcharges. Late filing but not beyond 6 months equal to 50%. 6 months or more after the expiry date equal to 100% for each year. Part 3. Traffic handling and operations. Radio system components. Portable. Antenna. On and off switch. Press to talk, PTT. Speaker. Squelch control or channel selector. Base radio. PTT. Microphone. Speaker. Volume control. Classes of stations for fixed and land mobile service. Portable. A radio station which may be conveniently move about from place or personally carried and be operated while in motion or during temporary halts. Mobile. A radio stations in the land mobile service which is intended to be operated while in motion or at an unspecified halts within the geographical limits specified in the radio station license. It may communicate with base station and other mobile or portable radio station. Fixed base. A radio station in the land mobile service which is intended to communicate with land mobile stations and portable stations in the same network. Fixed. A station in the fixed service which is intended to communicate between 2 or more specific locations. Repeater. A fixed station which is intended to receive a signal in a certain frequency and retransmit the same but amplified signal in another frequency. The main purpose is to extend or widen the coverage area of the communications system. Modes of transmission. Simplex, only one frequency is used for transmit and received. Duplex, 2 frequencies are used, one for transmit and one for receive. Classes of radio stations an RLM certificate holder may operate. Land mobile radio stations. Handheld radio, portable. Vehicle installed radio. Preventive maintenance. Check the condition of your radio set. Clean the external parts of the radio set regularly. Check battery and charge it appropriately. Cautiously observe the polarity of power source. Check for any abnormal operation and refer it immediately to qualified technicians. Make sure antenna system is appropriate for radio set. Make sure cable wires are appropriate for radio set. Interference. To minimize interference, do not begin transmission until after listening long enough to determine that the frequency channel desired is not busy. If busy, wait until the traffic is ended. If urgent, wait for a pause in conversation and say the word break, up to 2 times at intervals until acknowledged. Operation in noisy location. Speak closer to the microphone. Cup the microphone with hand. Use normal tone of voice. Causes of suspension or revocation of certificate. 1. Use of prohibited languages and words. 2. False statements made in the application forms. 3. Violation of the provisions of the radio laws and regulations. Phonetic alphabet: A. Alpha, B. Bravo, C. Charlie, D. Delta, E. Echo, F. Foxtrot, G. Golf, H. Hotel, I. India, J. Juliet, K. Kilo, L. Lima, M. Mike, N. November, O. Oscar, P. Papa, Q. Quebec, R. Romeo, S. Sierra, T. Tango, U. Uniform, V. Victor, W. Whiskey, X. X-ray, Y. Yankee, Z. Zulu. Distress signal. Break spoken thrice. Call sign or other identification. Exact location. Nature of distress. Other information which might facilitate rescue. Radio communication practices. Answer promptly when called by identifying yourself. Explain weights. Speak directly to the mark and cup mark in noisy location. Observe radio courtesy. Go directly to the point. Take all information. Avoid words that could not be understood. Show interest by trying to visualize the caller. Use caller's name when possible. Make sure the message reached the party concerned. Advise when leaving your radio. Terminate call positively and courteously. Take advantage of height for better reception, transmission. Do's and don'ts. Operate within your scope of authority. Updated license, certificate must be with the operator. Use only the frequency assigned by the NTC. Use only the authorized power. Proper use of call sign for station ID. Calling procedure must not exceed 3 successive calls. Go directly to the point. Profane and indecent words are prohibited. Communication that will endanger the security of the nation is prohibited. Observe secrecy of communication. Thank you for listening.